This is the first time I'm talking to either of you on election day. So tell me, how are you feeling so far based on what you've seen?
I just want to start off by saying I do want to call the election now. I'm gonna call it for Kanye Omari West. He's been cheated and he is absolutely the rightful winner. Give me some of that North Korean sweatshop swag. I want to look like I'm in a labor camp. No, look, John, I put on a blazer.
You did.
I did some yoga. This morning and I'm like, okay, when is the M. Night Shyamalan twist of this election happening? Like, what is it? What is it?
We're so alike, you did yoga, I ate a French toast grand slam from Denny's. We're the same person, basically. Ben, how have you girded yourself for the battle to come?
I have just been working, man. I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning with the stream and then the podcast and then I think I published on the podcast right before I got the call to join in with you all.
Wow.
As soon as I'm done here, I'm going over with Sam Cedar, all of our friends at the Majority Report, and then I'm doing my own coverage till 1 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully I'll be too busy to actually care what happens.
That's a lot of talking. Maybe some tea with honey wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. But okay, look, in just a little bit, actually, before we jump into it, I do want to read a few super chats because people have been so supportive and we unfortunately have not had nearly enough time to cover. But I did want to say a few thank yous. A True World Revolution sent us in a super chat saying, I'm Canadian and get robocalls daily telling me to stay home and not vote. I guess that seems like wasted money from the point of view of the US, but thank you. Let's see, we had HKN over on the main channel with a big super chat, thank you. There was no text, but thank you for the support. Same to Angie Shaw. Let's see, Buddha says, proud to be a progressive, let's go. Exactly. And Verena says, lots of love, Dragon Squad Germany, please America, vote him out. So, we're hoping. Before we get into some of the specifics of your election pools, most of the votes are already in at this point. There's more hours of voting to come. How confident would you say you are in the result at this point? No?
I don't allow myself to be confident that the sun will rise in the morning. After 2016, I am a jaded, gray-haired old woman. I have aged 40 years and all of them virginal because no one has been making any kind of, I was gonna go there. No one has experienced real love in these 4 years, because how can you really? And look, it's very much, remember when 2018 happened and we were like voting in 2016, we were all little babies, and like 2018, we're all like, I'm here, I'm signing up. Same energy. There's no rose-colored glasses on. Look, it's Joe Biden, y'all, okay? It's decency versus death, and that is where we are. I'm feeling pretty confident, but again, I'm waiting for the twist ending, and I don't know when that's gonna come.
Yeah, what about you, Ben?
That's a terrifying way. You keep talking about the M. Night. Well, I forgot it was the final part of his name, but the Sixth Sense type of twist. I think I'm expecting it to start somewhere around 9 o'clock this evening. We're going to get some type of twist, and I think it's going to be something along the lines of getting reports from the field about the Proud Boys showing up, about the protests erupting because they think these mail-in ballots shouldn't be counted. Like they have. Roger Stone has been out of prison long enough to cause a Brooks Brother riot times 10, considering the resources they have now and the support that they have with the Proud Boys. The thing that gives me hope is that the majority of people have already voted, and so they're going to miss the opportunity to suppress the vote because a lot of people were expecting it. So that's the main thing I'm counting on.
Yeah, we have a lot that we're gonna talk about, but I do want to zoom in on that for a little bit because I admitted in the second hour of our coverage that my prediction for what the big October surprise was gonna be did not actually come true. He did not announce the vaccine's done, we're shipping it out in a couple days, you don't have to worry about the pandemic. That didn't happen. And you're right, at this point, even if there is some sort of big surprise, there will be surprises, and it could influence some of the election day voting. It could, they're going to have their legal challenges and all that. But there was, other than Trump getting COVID, there was no real big October surprise. I mean, I guess they tried with Hunter Biden, but with all of the years of prep that they could have done, all of the money, all of the committed a-hole conservatives, they didn't really have much to shake things up in the last week or two. It's sort of weird, honestly, that there wasn't much more that they tried to do to really throw things off.
I mean, other than Borat and Giuliani's pants tuck, I mean, that was really the October surprise that I think no one needed. But you're right. I mean, it was interesting in that same segment with Anna this morning, I was watching, and you played a clip from Fox News where Trump is basically whining that Fox hasn't been giving him a fair shake. And in his tone of voice, you hear so much defeat, dare I say. And again, I don't wanna count the chickens before they hatch, but like, he sounds already like he's playing the blame game as to who is the reason that he wasn't reelected. And now he's already starting in with Fox News, and it's gonna roll on and continue from there. And of course, as Ben said, it's gonna get ugly in the streets and among his extremists, i.e. all of his supporters. But he himself, I think, is really setting this up for, you all cheated me, you turned your back on me, that's why I lost.
Yeah, John, I really think about that quite often, that they did not have anything that they could use this time around because the entire Donald Trump gambit has run its course. They're trying to replay their greatest hits from 2016. It's like the quarterback who's trying to relive his glory days from 30 years ago. No one wants to hear it. Everyone has outgrown it except for Donald Trump. And I think what he's setting himself up for at this point is the ability to convince himself in his own mind that he was cheated, and that's enough for him, so he can go to Mar-a-Lago and say, they cheated me, but here I am, everyone still worship me, even though I'm not president anymore.
Yeah, I was thinking about it yesterday. Like, obviously there was so much that was done this year already to try to make it as hard as possible to vote for certain types of people. Not for everybody, but for certain types of people. They did so much with the post office and limiting the ballot drop boxes. The fact that, in addition to not giving people any aid in the last 7 months in terms of the pandemic, no aid to make sure that the election would be smooth or that votes would be delivered promptly or anything like that. They certainly did that, and there's Proud Boys at the polls. They're doing all of that stuff. But that said, I got that same impression from the Fox video that this was sort of a resigned Trump that doesn't think he's got a great chance. And it's really, I think, weird when you think about it, that considering how dishonest these people are, how fundamentally, I'll use the word evil. I'm not a religious person, but I can identify it when I see it. That with all the money that they have, all the access they have, all that's on the line, that they don't seem to be doing more to mess with it. I mean, there's gonna be a ton, and we're gonna have the court cases and all that. There's some that are pending right now. They're still gonna try to get rid of some of those votes down in Texas, Pennsylvania, the votes that are gonna be counted after yesterday. There's a good chance they're gonna try to get rid of those too. So don't get me wrong, there's a lot that's happening, but I guess it's amazing that any elections are honestly adjudicated.